this is what we got started with. And he tried to do a taper, didn't really go so well. Now what he usually gets is a mid to low fade, right? So I'm starting with the number threes. Not going all the way up, leaving a little bit of the weight. Obviously the taper he tried to do took his fade a little higher than we'd usually have it, so we got to work with what we've got left over here. So number threes, not taking it all the way up. Now just putting in that initial guideline. My T outliners are not adjusted. I'm just using the wide tooth blade on it. I'll put the link in the bio for that if you guys don't know about it. It's really good for feeding thick hair, long hair into it. Now going again with the number three on the other side. You don't want to go all the way up, right? You always got to know what the client wants. So with him, he does like having that weight there. Now just going with the T outliners again on the other side. You want to make sure your initial guideline is nice and crispy, right? Making sure it's even everywhere. Here I use the balders, right? The Wahl balding clippers. If you guys have seen that, definitely a really great investment. I would recommend everybody to invest in those, just because with thick hair you don't want to be using your outliners or whatever liners you're using. You don't want to use those to take off the weight, right? It really does take a toll and wears out your motors on the machine. So those balding clippers really do help take that weight off. Then after that, I do go back with the T outliners just to get it clean and close to the skin. Now we got the Andis shaver. Making sure we get that nice bald look. I'm putting in an initial guideline with it. So the way I do it is I put that guideline first, and then I use the corners of the shaver or use it at an angle to take out those lines, right? And then I do go back with the T outliner again just to remove that line again, as you guys are gonna see soon. Right there, you want to go back with the T outliner or whatever liners you're using to smoothen out that line a bit. What really helps with thick hair when you're using the shaver is just going at different angles, right? Going at different angles, because you got to see which direction the hair is growing in and go according to that, just so you can get that consistent look. Here you see me just going at different angles around that neck area. I'm using the corners to smoothen out that line. Now I'm putting in the next guideline. This is 0 all the way open, right? So no guard, just all the way open. Putting in the initial guideline. In the back, it's about an inch and a half, you can say. On the sides, it's about a finger's width. After that, you just want to play with the lever, right? So the way I do it is first I go all the way open, then I do 3/4 open, then I do halfway open, quarter open, and then closed, right? So as I'm doing that, I'm bringing it down lower and lower, not going as high as I did last time. I like to do my guidelines like this, kind of like what you see here. You know, I'll go halfway across the head, a bit more than halfway across, just so when I work on the other side, I know how wide to make the guideline. Just helps, you know, working in sections kind of saves you time a little bit. you always want to go with the liners again, right? With the corners. Use the corners of the liners just to take out that line. Get as smooth as possible. Any dark spots you see, you want to go back and clean it up. Same thing on the other side now. I'm just gonna connect it right there in the back. That's why I go a bit further. I go a bit further than halfway just to connect it. We're gonna just play with the lever. 3/4 open, right? Then halfway. After that, 1/4 open, and then we're gonna do closed. See some dark spots right there, so again, always go back and clean that up, so at the end of the cut you've got that nice consistent blend. Now cleaning it up with the corners, getting rid of that line. It's all about the detail. I noticed that the guideline was a little bit crooked, so just go back and clean that up a little bit. Now the next guideline I'm putting is the 1.5 guard. And don't go as high as you did with the previous number 3 guard, right? Just putting in the initial, or not the initial guideline, but you know, the next guideline for you to actually get into the fade. Now I'm going with the number 1 all the way open. The way I like to do my fades is I fade down, right? So I'll start from the top and I'll fade down. So 1.5, 1 open, and now we're doing 1 closed. Next, straight to the 0.5s, right? Straight to the 0.5s, all the way open. Now, with the 0.5s, what I do is I go open, then I go halfway open, and then I'll do closed, right? I'll even do a 1/4 open sometimes if I need to, just to take out some spots, dark spots that I see, right? So right there, you saw me do halfway open. Now, this is all the way closed. And you really start to see the fade beginning to come together. Saw some dark spot there. Had to go back with the no guard. Don't be afraid to go back and clean up the fade. Ones now, as you guys see, I'm kind of leaving the weight you see above, which obviously you don't want to leave at the end of the cut, but we're gonna go with clipper over comb later on, and we're gonna clean it up with a couple of guards as well. One open right now, one closed. The 0.5s now, all the way open. I'm kind of working in sections, right? I'm working in sections. So when I'm putting my guidelines, I'll go halfway across the head, like you guys saw me do before. Then when I'm blending, I'll just work in sections, meaning I'll work on the side of the head first, and I'll go towards that back area. You want to make sure you get that clean disconnect, so you're not cutting up any of the the hair on the top of the head. Right? Make sure that the hair on the side is laying flat, so you can really cut it properly and not miss anything. That's what gives you the clean look at the end of the cut. Now we're going with the number 2s to blend in that initial number 3 that we had at the start. We're taking off a little bit more of that weight, right? We're gonna go with clipper over comb later on, just to get it perfect. Back to the 1.5 guard. Open, close, right? You're gonna see me changing the guards a lot over here, right? Now that we've kind of got that initial fade in, now we're just really doing a cleanup. Really just doing a cleanup now of all the dark spots, all the inconsistencies that you see, kind of areas where you see more of a harsh blend, right? You want to go and smoothen that out. Same thing on the other side now, number 2. Just playing with the guards, playing with the lever, cleaning up the whole fade. You want that smooth transition at the end. Clipper over comb, no guard, cleaning up the details. You want to go with the shape of the head, especially depending on the cut. You want to know, first of all, obviously what the client wants, right? Going with the shape of the head to really get that perfect cut at the end of it, right? It really depends on how the client also styles their hair. He kind of does a comb over slash slicked back almost, right? So that weight really helps him, not look like he has a high fade kind of thing going on. Especially when you've got long hair on the top, you want to have some weight on the sides, just so you have, you have that perfect shape. Blending in the beard a little bit. He kind of had his beard done himself before he got here, but I'm just gonna go back and clean it up a little bit. The C cup now. He likes to keep it pretty natural. He doesn't want it to be too deep in. Cleaning up the beard a little bit. Now for the top, he just wants a little bit off. He likes to keep it pretty long. So what I do with him is I'll take an initial guideline down the middle, a vertical guideline right here, putting in the initial guideline, right? And then I just I kind of cross cut it, right? I go horizontally and I just match it all across the head. This really helps you get an even cut. Front lineup now. Again, same thing as the C cup. He likes it very natural. So I'm not going to, dig deep into it. Just cleaning it up nice and straight. So when he slicks his hair back, he's got a nice natural look and it's all clean. So like I said, how he styles it is he likes to brush it back kind of to the side. He likes a little bit of weight, or he likes a little bit of volume. And that's why we've got the weight on the sides and the weight on the back of the hair, on the back of the head, just so that long hair that he's brushing back blends in. That's it for the cut, guys. Appreciate all of you watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want any specific videos that you want me to do, definitely let me know in the comments as well.